Phoenix, Arizona, March 18, 2018. The desert air was still that night, the kind of stillness that makes every sound echo across empty streets. An autonomous Uber SUV rolled down Mill Avenue at a steady speed, its roof stacked with LiDAR sensors spinning in eerie silence. The vehicle's artificial intelligence was trained on millions of images, coded to recognize pedestrians, bicycles, shadows, and obstacles. It had been tested countless times. But nothing that night would follow the script. Elaine Hertzberg pushed her bicycle across the dimly lit road, heading toward the median. The SUV detected something. A cluster of pixels, an unusual shape moving across the lane. The AI flagged her as unknown. A moment later, it changed its mind. Vehicle. Then again, bicycle. Each reclassification reset the system's response timer. Each hesitation erased the previous plan of action. The SUV continued forward, confident in a calculation that was catastrophically wrong. The human safety operator sat inside, monitoring a screen but relying on the promise of autonomy. She didn't see Elaine in time. None of them did. With less than a second left, the AI realized a collision was unavoidable. Yet, the vehicle still did not attempt to brake. Emergency braking had been intentionally disabled during autonomous mode to prevent erratic driving behavior. The machine simply rolled on, smoothly, quietly, into impact. Elaine became the first pedestrian in history killed by a self-driving car. Investigators discovered the AI struggled with edge cases, objects crossing roads outside designated crosswalks. A human would have seen a person in danger, but the machine saw only data points flickering between classifications, never stabilizing long enough to act. A life ended in the space where probability overcame reality. Kiryat Gat, Israel, July 26, 2016. Inside Intel's massive semiconductor plant, a world invisible to most unfolded behind sealed doors. Robotic arms moved molten materials, assembled circuits, and handled delicate silicon wafers with absolute precision. These were machines that never tired, never wavered, never hesitated, but they also never understood. Engineer Shimon Elwaz entered the maintenance zone early that morning, preparing to work on a production robot. He had done this many times. Safety protocols were in place. The robot was supposed to be dormant, but automation doesn't wait, it follows sequences. At the exact moment Shimon stepped inside, the arm's programmed maintenance routine initiated. Lift, rotate, lower, a pattern designed for metal, not flesh. With no vision system to detect a human presence, and no AI override to halt its movements, the robot struck him with mechanical force. His colleagues rushed toward the cage, but reaching the emergency stop took seconds. Seconds that cost a life. Shimon died from injuries sustained as the robot calmly completed the motion it had been trained to perform. The machine hadn't malfunctioned. It had done exactly what its algorithm told it to do. Investigators concluded that the danger was not in the robot's strength, but in its blindness. Automation is perfect until the world becomes imperfect around it. Gais, Switzerland, September 21st, 2021. In the rolling hills of Appenzell, where cows graze and fog hangs low across the farmland, a 55-year-old farmer relied on an autonomous hay-collecting robot to help manage the steep terrain. The machine followed GPS routes, adjusted to slopes, and operated with quiet efficiency. But the hillside that morning was slick with dew, and the angles were more treacherous than usual. The robot's slope sensor misread the incline, underestimating how unstable the ground had become. As the farmer walked alongside the machine, he bent to inspect a wheel. He believed the robot was paused, but the AI had recalculated its route. Without warning, the robot resumed movement, rolling forward with the weight of its machinery and knocking him off balance. It trapped him on the ground, pressing into him with steady, crushing force. He died before anyone found him. Authorities later noted the fault, an algorithmic assumption that the terrain was safe because it resembled a previous pattern. The robot did not and could not recognize danger developing in real time. In a field designed for life and growth, a machine ended a man's life while believing it was simply gathering hay. Shanghai, China, December 4, 2018. Industrial robots are typically confined to cages, their movements powerful and predictable only because humans are not meant to be near them. At a Volkswagen plant in Shanghai, a worker entered an area he believed to be offline, where a robot arm specialized in handling heavy metal sheets. The machine was equipped with sensors and a basic AI-driven diagnostic routine. It monitored torque, resistance, and object detection, but not the difference between a human body and a steel car part. During maintenance, the diagnostic AI misflagged the workspace as empty. Believing there were no humans inside, the robot activated. The arm extended, grabbed, and slammed. It behaved exactly as designed, except the object beneath its grip was a man. Co-workers scrambled to shut it down, but by the time they reached the kill switch, the robot had already completed multiple automated motions. The worker died from catastrophic injuries. Investigators discovered that the AI's environment mapping module had misclassified the worker's arm as a manipulatable component. The robot didn't attack. It simply followed its programmed routine with deadly accuracy. Plantation, Florida, May 2006. For decades, doctors worldwide have relied on linear accelerator radiation machines for cancer treatment. These devices, guided by complex software systems, focus high doses of radiation on tumors with extreme precision. But when software fails, precision becomes disaster. Over several months in 2005 and 2006, a series of medical tragedies unfolded involving the Therac 25 successor machines controlled by an AI-assisted targeting program. When technicians adjusted settings too rapidly, a common practice, the software crashed, then recovered by executing stored commands all at once. This glitch resulted in radiation overdoses hundreds of times higher than intended. One patient, Gerald R. Klein, received such a massive dose that his internal organs suffered irreversible damage. His skin blistered, darkened, and ruptured from the inside. He endured months of pain before dying of radiation poisoning. Another patient suffered identical injuries and also died after weeks of deterioration. The machine displayed normal numbers throughout treatment. The AI never warned the staff. The interface looked clean while delivering lethal chaos beneath the surface. Investigation revealed the truth. The system used primitive AI routines for dose control and error correction, but those routines were built on faulty assumptions. When the software froze, it didn't stop the machine. It simply unleashed all queued commands. Human trust in the AI overshadowed the machine's quiet malfunction. Tokyo, Japan, July 7, 2015. In a large automotive factory in Tokyo, an assembly robot operated inside a sealed enclosure, lifting and rotating partially assembled vehicles with automotive precision. The system used AI-driven torque, feedback, and motion analysis to detect misalignments. But its intelligence extended only to objects, not human bodies. During a routine adjustment, a worker entered the robot's space. He expected it to be in standby mode, but the AI identified an incomplete assembly due to the open panel he was inspecting. Interpreting this as a fault, the robot activated its correction sequence. The worker was lifted and slammed against a metal fixture with crushing force. The robot continued moving, attempting to complete the task it believed was a misaligned car segment. Only after emergency responders manually shut off the power did the machine fall still. The investigation was chilling in its simplicity. The robot was never designed to tell the difference between a human and a car part. Its AI could detect incorrect angles, but not living bodies. The worker died because the system believed it was fixing a mechanical problem. In reality, it was ending a human life. Hesperia, California, July 2015. In a warehouse environment where speed reigned supreme, robotics and humans often work side by side. At a distribution center in Hesperia, a warehouse robot designed to transport heavy goods autonomously moved across the floor using AI navigation algorithms. Its sensors allowed it to map obstacles and navigate corridors efficiently. But the AI had a critical limitation. It could detect objects, not bodies. Specifically, the robot's detection threshold filtered out objects below a certain height to avoid constant stops for debris. A human crouching to pick up an item could fall into that blind zone. A 60-year-old worker knelt down to retrieve a fallen package. The robot recalculated its path. The shortest route to its destination passed directly through the crouched worker. It did not slow down. It did not alter course. It simply continued on. The robot struck the worker, knocking him to the ground and dragging him before colliding with the shelving unit. He suffered traumatic injuries and died shortly after. The post-incident report revealed that the AI navigation module performed shape filtering, excluding small, low-profile obstacles to optimize efficiency. In doing so, it filtered out a human life. Bonnetau, Germany, July 2015. At a Volkswagen plant in Bonnetau, Germany, a 22-year-old contractor was helping assemble automated machinery designed to assist in car construction. The machinery, a powerful industrial robot, was normally confined behind safety barriers. Its job: to lift and position metal car components with force far beyond human strength. During setup, the contractor worked inside the robot's cage, configuring its systems. Through a chain of miscommunications, the robot was activated while he remained inside the enclosure. The machine seized him, pressing him against a metal panel with crushing intensity. Another worker watched helplessly from outside the cage, unable to intervene. By the time emergency crews arrived, the contractor had gone into cardiac arrest and could not be revived. Volkswagen confirmed the cause. The robot's AI system had followed its programmed routine perfectly. What failed was the human process around it, a sequence of assumptions, timing errors, and blind trust in automation cost a young man his life. Daegu, South Korea, March 31, 2022. At a packaging plant in Daegu, an industrial robotic arm was trained by AI to lift boxes using pressure sensing and image recognition algorithms. Its task was simple: identify the box, seize it, and place it onto a pallet. But under dim lighting conditions, the system misidentified a worker. During a night shift inspection, a 40-year-old employee leaned in to examine a malfunctioning sensor. The robot's AI camera system mistook his upper body for a box. It matched the shape, color, and outline closely enough for the algorithm to trigger a pick action. The robot grabbed him with its mechanical clamp and attempted to set him on the pallet. It crushed him instead. The worker died before reaching the hospital. Authorities concluded the AI-driven vision system had significant limitations under poor lighting, making it unable to reliably distinguish between objects and humans. This case highlighted a terrifying truth. The robot did not malfunction. It recognized the worker, just not as a person,